Hi, my name is Glenda and I'm with Mindful Healing Space, and I'm so glad you're here. It is Friday, January 24th, and it is a new moon in Aquarius, and we are here for an intention check-in. As we move through January and the beginning of 2020, there's always this beautiful energy at the beginning of the year, holding us out of or pushing us, out of the gate, building up some momentum to reach our goals and to go for it. And by about the third week of January, that momentum is starting to wane a little bit, just like the moon. And here we are entering this new moon that is going to arrive with a bit of a bang. So my favorite astrologer, Shani Nicholas, has this to say about this new moon, and it asks us to make a change, embrace a little discord, or be part of a larger cultural shift, which I think is much needed right now. This loud astrology that asks us to do our part by refusing to remain silent about the things that need our voice, our actions, and energy. It's unpredictable, exciting, and demanding. This astrology is like a metaphorical earthquake, shaking up what has grown stagnant. It encourages us to break up with old bad habits. We'll be talking about that in a minute. So, however, because this moment has a flair for the rebellious, you'll need to make sure that when you buck a system, it's a good cause. You have good cause to do so. The new moon in Aquarius is a time to do away with playing it small. But it's no time to be reckless. Being intellectually thorough is the way Aquarius rolls. So that's a little bit about what's happening right now. And so even if, you're not so into astrology, it doesn't matter. What is that energy that's going on right now? What are some of the themes? There is this momentum right now about, okay, you need to make these new habits or new things that you decided were so important, around New Year's. How do you actually make this sustainable now? How do you shake things up in your own life enough that which was so important to you continues to be, and that you actually start to allow this new thing to come into your life? It isn't a time to play it small. I know that myself. I am doing these videos now as kind of an acknowledgement that perhaps I was playing it small and that I needed to put my money where my mouth was. And I encourage always, when I'm saying something to my clients of, okay, in the back of my head, am I walking my own talk here? Okay, no? Okay, how can I do that? How can I show up in my own life a little bit more fiercely? So what are these intention setting? It's not really setting, but maybe course correcting, check-ins. What was this all about? Well, at least for me, I've always found that a little personal responsibility and accountability goes a long way. So when you tell a friend something like, this is really important to me, they can kind of hold us accountable of asking us questions. How's that going? And so this was really designed around that. How do we encourage each other? How do we support each other? How do we push each other along? And maybe even being that momentum or that motivation when things are kind of tough and it's hard to keep going. So the first thing is, do you know what it was that was really the feeling that you want to have this year? I often say, okay, imagine it's December 2020 and we're looking back, and as you see yourself at this time, next Christmas-ish time, what are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you looking back on the year? What is it that you're feeling and saying? Hopefully it's not, oh crap, that was another one. Hopefully it's like, wow, this was the year. I made 2020 amazing. And as you think about that, what did you make it amazing over? Like, why? What was it? For me, the word that came, that kind of percolated up, was becoming, which has this feeling of unfolding, which I love. This, I need to step into something new, allowing this transition to unfold and to allow myself, or give myself, the courage to actually take the step forward into becoming whoever this next version of myself is. And as I think about that word, it really does resonate with my core values of compassion and courage and curiosity and personal responsibility, which is also why we're doing these check-ins. And as I think about that, it reminds me of a North Star, or the North Star. And what is your North Star internally? What is that guiding force or feeling that allows you to course correct wherever you may be, because you know that that's there? What's most important to you, perhaps in your life, or right now, or this year? What are those things that you really need to focus and percolate on? Because we know, of course, what we practice, what we focus on, strengthens. So what are we spending our time doing? As you look at your week, of course, there's eating and there's sleeping and probably work or school. What else is occupying all of the time? Are you actually spending time each week on those things that are allowing you to achieve this goal that you have, or this feeling? Often we aren't, right? There are time with distractions and other things, or priorities of someone else, or just the many things that we need to do in the run of a day or a week. Most of us have a household tasks and chores to do and other people to take care of. And there's a lot of demands on us and our time. But when we start to get very clear about the reality of the situation, how are we actually spending our time, as perhaps hard as that may be, to look at it and be really honest with ourselves, it also allows us the opportunity to go, I'm going to make some changes. And so this is where the science of habits comes in. So let's talk about that. What do we know about the science of habits? I mean, there used to be this saying, you can make a habit in 21 days, which we now know isn't necessarily true. It is more about consistent effort. Well, let me go back. The first rule is commitment. Are you truly committed to what you are doing? Because a habit is often about the doing. Are you fully committed to making that change, or to building that practice? And if so, how do you do so in a way that allows for consistency and that's simple and satisfying? So let's not complicate things. Try to bring it down and make it as simple as possible. Try to remove as many steps along the way that get you from you to the doing. So for instance, if you're looking to exercise, maybe doing a home practice and setting it up a space, just like I am right now in my home, where I can do yoga and I can do some different exercises right here. For those days that I can't get to the gym, I make it easy and remove as many of the obstacles as possible. I also set up cues. My yoga mat's always out. My bolster and everything else is already right here set up. My gym bag is ready to go. As soon as I come home from the gym, I put the dirty clothes in the hamper, and I take clean ones and I put in the bag so it's ready to go. I don't have to actually prepare anything, because every step along the way is one more place that I can get my brain to say, we'll do it another time. So how are you creating the system, if you will, for encouraging and making it easy on yourself to do those things? I'm old school. Lots of people do it online, but I'm old school and I write it all down. Everything gets scheduled at the beginning of the week. I go through it. I write everything down. All my client meetings, all of the work that I need to do, even date night gets put in here, runs, yoga class, social outings, everything gets scheduled. And so if I feel like I have too much scheduled, then I have to start to weigh and make some changes to allow for those things that are most important. One of the planners, and certainly you can use whatever planner you want, one of the ones that I've started to use actually as an augment to my planner is Passion Planner, which has these free downloadable ones that are great. And I love the fact that there's lots of places to write notes on and to doodle. And certainly it asks you what today's focus is, what are the game changer, what are you going to do personally and work-wise. So it really, and it even asks you at the end, like, how did today go? What was kind of a word that crystallized the feeling of the day? I think these are great because you can also then look at the whole week, the whole month, the whole year even, around what is it that's going on. Do you have too many days that are kind of sucky? You know, because we all have those. And when we start to then look at, well, what's going on and how do I change this for myself? Because when we're feeling kind of sucky, we're less likely to do the things that help us, as strange as that may be. We need to be actively encouraging, scheduling, and paying attention to those things that are actually going to help us feel great, that will allow us to not only have the energy, but to move forward step by small little step towards that North Star. This is not easy. And I truly believe when we can do it together and we can support each other, we are way more likely to be successful. And so I really wanted to start by creating this environment. And certainly today's is just a recorded version of me talking, but next time in each subsequent month, it might be a different format. Next month, in late February, when we meet again, my dear friend, who's a certified coach, is going to be joining, and she is Sydney Fletcher, and her and I are going to be talking, and she'll probably be mostly leading this one, around how to start self-identifying some of the resistance that you're having to building these new beautiful habits for yourself, and how to kind of punch through your self-sabotaging ways. And certainly by February, some of these things might be coming up, so we thought it'd be a good time to do so. And then in March, we're actually going to be inviting everybody to join us for a virtual retreat. This will be an online place. We're going to do a couple of hours of movement and meditation and really kind of diving into this a little bit more. We'll be doing some live coaching sessions with people and really allowing some support and nurturing of these goals and visions that we have for each other and our lives, and how we can best be a support to each other. And some more information will be provided, but certainly I hope that you will start by downloading the workbook that I'll have available, and you can start to go through figuring out what that North Star is and some of your goals and some of the habits that you want to focus on for the next month or two, maybe quarter, or maybe it's for the whole year. And if you have any pardon me, if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer. I also posted a blog post today kind of showing what some of mine were and how I was starting to incorporate that into my weekly and monthly schedule. And I have to say I've been doing great. And I've very much identified where my likely resistance or self-sabotaging ways usually come in, and have created strategies this year to really combat that so that I can be as successful as possible. In February, we're going to be focused here at Mindful Healing Space on compassion, one of my favorite words and ideas, and I love compassion and action. And for February, because you know it's the month of love, we're going to be very much focused on self-compassion, self-love, self-care, and creating some beautiful strategies for people on how to start taking care of yourself a little bit more. Not in a selfish way, but in a self-fulfilling way, so that we can be the best partners, the best parents, the best friends, the best workers that we can be by really showing up for ourselves in a way that maybe for lots of us we didn't really learn how to when we were kids and growing up. And so there's going to be a few things. One is our group meditation on February 8th at 10 a.m. Central Time will be focused on self-compassion. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice. I hope you'll be able to join us. The second thing is I'm going to be offering a free Love You Up email program. It's a 21-day email journey, if you will, into self-love, self-compassion, and self-care. And every day, it'll be a very short email with a compassion in action challenge. So every day it'll be a little bit of something that you can try to practice that day to really allow yourself to connect to your own wants, to your own needs, to how to really learn how to take care of yourself in a new way. So I hope you'll join us. The links for that information will be in the workbook, so please have a look, and I hope you can join us. Again, it's free. We want as many people to participate as possible and to really encourage this idea of self-love, because I think, again, this helps us feel good. And guess what? When we feel good, then we're more likely to do good things for ourselves, including focused on good habits. So until next time, I thank you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, comments. If you're not quite sure how to do this, we're more than happy to kind of help coach you through it and to make sure that you have the information down and know how to kind of work this through that makes sense for you. Okay? Thank you so much, and have an amazing week, and enjoy that crazy what is it, metaphorically earthquakey kind of energy going on this weekend with the new moon. Take good care of yourselves.